Hey everybody, what's up? This is Hernan Vasquez with the Mastermind of June 29th. Today's Thursday. It is 4:30 p.m. in Argentina, 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and the rest of the world. So, how are you guys doing? Today we have Bradley is missing. He's running in the mountains, quote unquote. I'm doing our quotes. You cannot see me, but I'm doing them. And so we are excited because we are here with Marco. How are you doing, Marco?
I'm good, man. I'm just kicking
How's the
back.
weather today?
You know, I mean, what can I say? It's beautiful. Uh, Edward, I see that he posted the last mastermind. He was here. He was here actually for about 10 days. So he can attest to how beautiful the weather is in Costa Rica, in spite of the fact that it rains, for a while in the afternoon. But if it's this nice, you can't complain about the rain.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Today was we're in winter here in Argentina, but today it's like today's is nicer. It's chilly, but it's nicer. So just FYI, guys, I'm gonna be spending some time on the East Coast, South Florida, for around 2-3 months. I'm gonna give you more details. So maybe if you guys are around there, you want to grab a coffee or a beer, just let me know. I'm gonna be there for a couple of weeks, and it would, if you guys are on the area, I would love to meet you guys because that's what we do. Semantic Mastery, specifically the Mastermind, right? That's what we do. So, all right. So basically, we have some topics that we want to cover. Specifically, Marco had some ideas that he want to share with you guys. But then I think we're gonna jump into Q&A, provided that Bradley's not here today. So we're gonna just jump into Q&A. We have some questions lined up from last week, and the discuss widget, or whatever you want to call it, it's open right now to receive questions on the page. So if you guys want to drop your questions, if you have any questions whatsoever, just drop them there because we're going to be answering them. And if there are no questions, we're going to wrap it up shortly. Okay, so make the best use of this time that we are spending with you guys. So Marco, if you're there, if you want to kickstart it, by all means. I know you have some really interesting stuff regarding entity and scheme and whatnot. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let me add that an invitation is open from me. If you come to Costa Rica for vacation, I will take some time out of whatever it is that I'm doing and meet with you for a while and see how you're doing. Take a look at some of your stuff and give you suggestions. And it's all on, of course, you're not going to get charged for that $750 an hour bill for consultation. So,
right.
If you're on vacation and you have some time to kick it, then what we can do is just take a look at your stuff, see how you're doing, see where it is that you can improve, and then you can go from there. Sometimes you just kicking around ideas, it gives you a different perspective into the things that you're doing, into what you could be doing wrong or what you're doing right, but could probably improve. I mean, it's 15 years, guys, that you're drawing upon.
Right.
When you kick back and talk to me, I haven't been, I didn't just start yesterday, and so I've been around for a while, and I have like a really good idea of what's going on, what Google is trying to do. As you know, in what was it, December of 2015, I told you guys what was going to happen with PBNs. And I know there's a big discussion that PBNs still work and all this other shit, but it's not a PBN. Let's get so the word is nomenclature. Let's get the wording right. What's working now is that you go and you buy a domain with metrics and you put your link on it. That's not a PBN, right? What used to be PBNs is that someone would set up a private blog network with hundreds, maybe thousands of blogs, and you would buy into the network and you would buy a way to place links into these networks. That's done for the most part. There's still some around that have managed not to get caught by Google, but by being by selling publicly, it's no longer a private blog network. Does that make sense? because you went public with it and you're selling it publicly. And so Google can just go in and destroy whatever it is that you did. But they don't really need to, because they came up with this beautiful thing called the distance graph. And that's how they're targeting links now. They're looking at the action from the links. And let me say once again, and I'm going to continue to say it, and moving forward into I don't know how long, it's still all about links. It has been, and it's going to be. But as you know, what we're saying is that it's moved to the amount of activity on that particular link. You have to show activity. You can't just place a link somewhere and that link has absolutely no activity on it. No, they said that you're wasting money if you place a link, or if you buy a link in one of the big sites, let's say the New York Times. In a way, it's right. In a way, because if you just get a link and that link does nothing, they can filter so that if it's not showing any activity, if it's not showing anything, they can deprecate that link. But the thing is that if you buy into the New York Times, and our very own Jason Quinlan can attest to this, because he got it. He got that link from the New York Times, and it just shot his stuff all the way to the top. I mean, it boosted everything that he was doing when he broke that Charlie Sheen story. And so it does work, but it works because he shared the link, and a bunch of people went and looked at it, and so now you're getting activity. It's relevant because the New York Times published the breaking story and everything that he was doing regarding that story. So it was all relevant. And by relevance, we mean the semantic relationship, right? Both the link location and the link target. There has to be some type of semantic relationship for that relevance to kick in. If there isn't, if that's absent, then that link can become problematic unless the activity overwhelms the need for semantic relationships or relevance. Now, the third part of that is the amount of trust that Google gives both the link location and the link target. Trust and authority. They're both relevant when it comes to this. So Google sees activity. Google sees relevance. All of a sudden, the link location has trust and authority, hopefully, when you're getting one of these big links. And the link target is going to get trust and authority from the relationship. So again, it's all about links, but now it's about how Google is viewing that link and what type of data, what type of metrics it's getting from that. If it's a dead link, you can bet that at some point it's going to be deprecated. It's not going to matter. They don't have to penalize it. They just have to say this fucking link doesn't count because it's not valid. It's not doing anything. It's just dead. So, having said that, let me move on to what's happening right now, because we've seen how Google is trying to bring everything under one umbrella in the Google My Business listing, right? I'm sure, Hernan, you've seen this. It's been all over how you can now go and build a mini site
Yep.
in Google My Business, how you can now go and post from inside Google My Business, and how you can actually promote the Google My Business listing. This is a rhetorical question, but I'm going to ask, why do you think that Google is doing this? Why do you guys think Google went and brought the map and the information and everything else under one general Google My Business umbrella? Well, to me, this is a third step in what we were calling entity verification and validation, right? You would go in and you would, the way that we've been teaching it, you would go to the local post office, you would order that pin, you would set everything up, order the pin, and verify. Then you would start the validation process, which meant filling it out, getting everything correct, posting into Google Plus, getting links back, doing the RYS loop. What we teach inside RYS Academy is that RYS loop between the My Map, the verified listing, and the destination, whatever the money site was. Well, now what Google has done is added a third part, which I'm calling solidification. They want you to solidify your entity. And what better way? Again, this is brilliant. You know, I always say fuck Google, and I'm still going to say fuck Google because you can. They closed something off, but they opened up a whole can of worms, because what they did by bringing everything in there is given that Google My Business verified listing a whole bunch of trust. And now you can build up on that inherent trust that they're giving you, because you took the time to verify it, you took the time to list your hours or whatever. And now what they're doing is they're letting you list your products, your services, your links. They're letting you do coupons, man. The coupons which expire, they're letting you right. They're going to expire, so you can set a time. So what I'm looking at with that, and with events especially, is the freshness algorithm. You can kick the freshness algorithm in the ass by publishing both coupons that expire and, of course, events. An event will take place and then it's done, and then you need to set up another event. But you're continuously going to trigger that freshness factor, which Google is always looking for. Is always looking for that fresh, that new idea, something for RankBrain to grab onto, push against all of the other algorithms that it goes and links to see which one it's going to trigger. Because that's what happens, right? RankBrain, I call RankBrain the puppet master. It's the puppet master because it goes into, once it lands on a page, right, and starts crawling, what it does is it tries to figure out which algorithm or which section of the algorithm should be triggered. Now you can trigger a nasty stuff like Panda Penguin and all kinds of filters, the Google Dance and all kinds of shit, as we've explained before. Or you can also trigger lots of good stuff, and one of those is the freshness factor, and you can trigger that now right from inside your Google My Business verified. This is, to me, one of the best aspects about this, about being able to do this, is going in there. And of course, guys, we'll be testing and we'll be posting and we'll be sharing, right? So that you guys don't think that you have to do everything. We will. We just haven't had time because it's fairly new. Other people are going in there and they're rushing. They're rushing to judgment. You can't do that, because you have to isolate the factors. You have to isolate and see what it is that's going to work best. If you go and you hit it all, now you're randomizing, because you don't know what it is that you did that triggered whatever it was that happened. So you have to do everything in isolation. You have to do it step by step. You have to know which part of the algorithm you're after. To me, the first thing that we test, and you guys are welcome to test and let us know what it is that you come up with. But the very first thing is that freshness, and see how your listing reacts. See how your 3-pack reacts, because that's what this is all about, especially for local. Now on a national level, it might be that you need to do a little bit more. I don't know. I have to think through this. I have to go and research some more before I dive in and say, this is what I want to test, and then come up with whatever findings it is that we're going to get. Now, another interesting thing that has come about is that Google is sending out quality warnings to businesses whose GMB listings are appearing spammy. They're getting warnings and saying, clean this shit up, or that they're probably going to start hitting these listings, these spammy listings. So if you've been keyword stuffing, and if you've been doing all of this stuff that you shouldn't be doing with your listing, I suggest that you clean it up before Google comes in and tells you that you have to clean it up, or right, better to stay I call it being 2 steps ahead, right? 2 minutes fast, 3 steps ahead. So stay ahead of Google. If you know that people are getting warnings, and I'm telling you they're getting warnings because we've seen it, then go and see if there's anything in your listing that would trigger a warning from Google. Now, to me, it's algorithmic right now. RankBrain is going in and it's taking a look, and if it doesn't look quite legit, it's sending back a red flag, and you're going to get a warning to clean it up. Do it before you get the warning, so that Google, I think that it's another detection method. I'm always worried when Google does this, when they give you a warning and tell you to go fix it, because they get direct signals that you are actually in there and you're moving stuff around according to whatever it is that they're saying. So I worry about that. I worry about sending that kind of signal that you're that in tune with whatever it is that they're doing, because they more or less know then, okay, there's an SEO working in here, more than likely, because a business owner, especially a small business owner, isn't going to have the time to do all this. So my suggestion, clean it up before. So be careful with keyword stuffing, especially since it's a verified Google My Business listing, right? It's something that you want to protect at all costs. You want to keep it clean. You want to keep this as, because this to me, what's going to happen, it's going to be your semantic hub. It's going to be your main one. It's going to be the main one that RankBrain is going to draw from, and then go everywhere else on the web and pull information from other semantic hubs to see just how much it's matching up, to see whether there's any ambiguity, what kind of ambiguity is there, is the address okay, are the pictures matching up, is everything the way it's supposed to be. Now, fortunately, this is all at a bot level. So I use the word trickeration. We can trick the bot. We can trick the bot and have the bot see what we want it to see, while at other levels we're doing other things, right? We're spamming away, pushing, like we're teaching with maps and stacking, not maps but press releases, and stacking press releases. You could do it to the Google My Business verified listing. I mean, Bradley's doing it, and we explained this during the webinar, right, with Keith Mallinson, that Bradley is stacking press releases, and the stack, one of the links that it goes to, is the Google My Business verified listing. And so by all means do this, understanding that, well, to continue with what Bradley did, is he went and used LBL Robot to get reviews, and every time he got a review, he did a press release saying, hey, I got another review. And so he's stacking his press releases that way. Now, before I get, is this legal? Is this, you know me, I could give a fuck. Because if you're in this mastermind, if you're at this level, you guys are manipulating. And I'm not going to get into the asshat conversation, because to me it's irrelevant. You manipulate. The level that you manipulate is what's going to either get you results or not. If you choose not to manipulate, that's fine. You're welcome to do that, and you're welcome to wait until Google decides that you can start making money. And Lord knows when that will be. Hopefully you're running AdWords and YouTube ads and Facebook ads while Google is deciding where to rank you, so that you can actually make some money. Because if not, then it's a good way to go broke. Waiting on Google is an excellent way to go broke. I've seen it happen time and again, where all of these, I know I want to go strictly white hat, and all of a sudden you never hear from the person again because they couldn't make enough money to stay afloat. So to me, you either manipulate or you don't. If you're in our mastermind, then you guys are all manipulating. And if you're not, I don't understand why not, because what we're teaching you is the safest way. There is no safe. There is no 100% absolute. And even methods that are so-called okay right now, tomorrow could possibly not be. okay. Methods that are not okay come back and they're actually okay, which is why I love iframes and I love Java frames and I love, excuse me, JavaScript frames and I love JavaScript links because they're not counted as links, but they're seen as do follow links. Guys, we've been teaching in RYS Academy. We've been teaching this for 2 years in August, the stacking iframe method. And we haven't really delved into JavaScript, into the frames and the links because, I mean, you can't teach both. You have to choose which one. If you guys want to learn all of these methods, if you're not in RYS Academy, go to the W3C. They have all the tutorials you need so that you can learn how to do this, because it's just a great way to stay out of Google's eyesight, so to speak, because the bot is told you are to treat iframes and JavaScript frames and JavaScript links a different way. You can't penalize these types of links because that's the way that YouTube videos are embedded. Is the way that Google Maps are embedded. It's the way that the W3C says embedding, right? Iframing is supposed to take place. And so if they would first have to come up with a way to do their analytics, first of all, differently, because it's JavaScript, correct? They would have to do embedding differently, and they would have to recode the bot so that it looks at all of these things different. Now, any of you that know about coding know that anytime you add a line, just a line of code to anything, it could throw off everything else. So imagine working on just millions, probably, of lines of code and trying to change one part of it without fucking up everything else. And so I'm giving you a heads up on how to try to manipulate your Google My Business listing without having Google really focus on your spamming methods, right? On your manipulation methods. Of course, you're totally manipulating if you're doing all this. But the point is, get that Google My Business listing, get RankBrain paying attention to it, focus on all of the things that you can do and on all of the different sections of the algorithm that you can trigger for best effect. And that's what I have for today.
That's pretty cool. You know, at some point you said that when you're moving things on your GMB and you're changing things, this all gets like recorded. And we had a really good question yesterday. I think it was on Hump Day Hangout that we addressed with Roman, and it was all about, one of the guys over there was freaking out because his website was, I think he was ranking really well, and the homepage disappeared from the search engines. And then the site colon operator was okay, he was bringing it back, but then, it was like every 1 or 2 hours he would go in and check with the site colon operator. And we just told him to stop doing it, right? Because that gets recorded. And there's not many people, like if you think about all of the people that use Google to search on a daily basis, whether it is on, the actual google.com, or it is or Google Now, or mobile phones, or, now like Google Now, Google Home, all of those kind of people, like the amount of people that are actually using Boolean searches, which is, site colon operator or all in title, to use Google to mine for data, it's a really small portion of the whole population that use Google, right? So you can actually tell who is doing SEO, who's trying to manipulate what, just by inputting searches, right? That's being recorded. So just have in mind, guys, that I totally agree with Marco. And I think this is like, Google allowing you to promote your products on Google itself. I think that's another move to get more revenue besides, just AdWords. And I think that's really powerful because you can use Google to promote natively your stuff, right? So, but have in mind that if you freak out, if you start looking for stuff like side colon operators, if you start looking for Boolean searches, you're triggering something. Those searches are being recorded. So if for whatever reason you get some sort of algorithm hit, or your specific niche, your specific set of keywords are being updated for, like it happens to payday loans, right? All of the payday loans keywords, they get updated from time to time. The algorithm, I mean, and there's a sub algorithm specific for those type of spammy keywords, right? Spammy searches, if you would. So if you're out there searching for your side colon operator, if you're out there actually freaking out, you make things worse because you're not helping. You're just, that they're moving the carrot. I said yesterday, they're moving the carrot for you to bite. Because if you freak out, you go back, you change your links, you change your stuff, you change your GMB, you go back to, I don't know, Maps Powerhouse, you start touching your iframes because you say, okay, I fucked it up. You end up fucking it up real bad, right? So what I would suggest is that you take this slowly, like you take the Google route slowly, unless you don't care about churn and burn, right? If you're doing like ROIS tags, if you're doing all of those kind of things, or if you're manipulating really heavily and you don't care about, the results, then that's fine. But if you're focusing on the long term, take the safest path, when it comes to ranking, and then you can use some other sources of traffic to speed things up, to collect data, which is the number one thing that you do not have when you're waiting 3 or 6 months for shit to kick in, right? So it doesn't really matter what kind of project I'm in right now. In fact, we were discussing with this with Marco yesterday. I would just add some sort of paid advertising, and that's part of the budget. That's part of the marketing budget. Some sort, shape, way, or form of paid advertising. It can be AdWords for local. It can be Facebook. I usually go for Facebook because it is I'm within the Facebook Ads Manager like every day for a lot of hours every day, managing, I don't know, 10 different accounts. And I'm getting good results. But that's not where it ends, right? I'm getting good results like pretty much across the board. But that's not where it all ends. It doesn't end when you're doing SEO, right? So what we are telling you here is, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. What we're teaching here is super powerful. You want to validate the entity. You want to use the insights that Marcos just gave you in terms of GMB, but you also want to use some sort of paid advertising, whatever that is, to collect data. I think data is the name of the game right here, guys, because when you're starting out your own assets, many of you guys have clients, many of you guys have lead gen websites. You cannot afford to wait 6 months or 3 months or even 1 month to start collecting data. You want to start collecting data right off the bat. But by data, I mean how many people are converting, how many visitors you're converting into leads, how many leads you're converting into actual customers. Because here's the deal, and this is something that we as Semantic Mastery need to get better at. And this is something that we're doing with Master EPR, for example, and we're on the Mastermind. We can share this kind of stuff. But we're when you're trying to grow a business, you want to be as mathematical as possible. Meaning, if you get a subscriber today, how much money is that subscriber worth to you, right? So if you get, let's say you get 100 new subscribers, and in 30 days, or in let's say 90 days, you made $10,000 out of those 100 subscribers, right? So in 90 days, you made $10,000. Whatever you're promoting your own stuff, you're doing lead gen, whatever it is, right? So you made $10,000 out of those 100 subscribers in 90 days, right? That means that in 90 days, each subscriber on average gave you $100, right? $100 times 100 subscribers, meaning $10,000. That is super simple. And that is simple to get as well, right? Because you should send up a batch. You should send a batch of paid advertising, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3K, $3,000, $1,000. You send Facebook traffic to a landing page. You get 100 subscribers. you see the conversion rate, and you send your offers, or you send them to your clients, and you see what's the conversion rate. You're collecting data, right? So in 90 days, you will know exactly how much money those 100 subscribers are giving you. Now, here's the thing. On month number 4, SEO will start kicking in. You will start getting more visitors, right? But what you have is data. So you know that you can go out there and get as many leads as you possibly can for under $100, and you will still be making money in 90 days. Does that make sense? So if you're getting leads for 20, 30, $50, which is totally doable, and of course, this depends on your industry, right? Let's say info products, for example. But, on some cases, I'm quoting people, for example, real estate or insurance, financial services, I'm quoting people $2,000 a lead, because the lifetime value of that leads is hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, because when somebody, for example, on the financial services, when somebody hires a financial advisor, they usually stay with them for years, right? You don't change a financial advisor just because you find something else. You should stay with them for years. So a lead can, the lifetime value for customer is enormous. It's like they are worth a shit ton of money. That's why I'm not afraid to ask $2,000, $1K, $3K for a lead. Just imagine that, guys. And the guys will pay happily that, because if they can convert, 50%, which most of these guys do, if they're good with what they do, they will convert 50%. If I'm sending them, 10 leads a month, and I'm charging 1K a lead, that's 10K. Does that make sense? So now what you need to do is to go out there and get leads for $500, $400, $300, right? Now, in 90 days, if we go back to, for example, an info product business, if you're selling your own stuff, in 90 days, if a lead gives you $100, now the question is, how many leads can you get for under that? If you're getting leads for $100, you're breaking even in 90 days, which is pretty much growing a business for free, right? But if you want to make money, not right away, like not breaking even, because most of the cases you will break even or lose a little bit of money when getting a lead. But in 90 days, you will get that back. Okay? So my point with all of this is that you want to combine paid advertising with SEO, because that's the way you win. And that's the way you grow a business. And that's the way how you see, these big companies, or these companies, these unknown guys going from 0 to $1 million a year in 1 year or in 2 years. I'm not saying this is easy. I don't believe in overnight successes. Well, I do believe in overnight success that took 10, 15 years to to happen. But that's how you grow a business. And this model can be applied to pretty much anything. This model can be applied to lead gen. This model can be applied to rank and rent. This model can be applied if you're selling physical products. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so just have that in mind. Now let's jump into the questions that were pre-submitted, if that's okay with you, Marco, unless you want to add anything. If that's okay, I'm going to just start sharing my screen and go.
No, what I would add is that, yeah, run ads by all means. Paid traffic is fine. But the way that you can also look at paid traffic is a way to get Google to pay attention to whatever it is that you're trying to rank. So
Right.
for example, if you're running YouTube ads, just as an example, low cost, right? 2-3 cents for video views, but the video is embedded on a page. So now you're getting views on your video, and you're getting traffic to whatever page it is that can have a call to action, and you can, if it's enticing enough, people will click through. So you can use that as part of this, of what we were talking about, this activity on the link, semantic, relationship, relevance, and then the trust on the link target and link location. So you can actually trigger all three link factors by simply running some low cost ads, which will get you ranking in the long run. I don't know whether the fact that you're paying Google gets you the rankings, or if it's the activity, or if it's a combination of both. But whatever the fuck it is, doesn't matter. The point is that it works. And so use it, use everything that you can. All you have a lot of weapons in your arsenal. So the thing to do is use whatever you can to get traffic to your project as quickly as possible, so you can be profitable in the shortest period of time, so that you can do, so that then your scalability can kick in, and you can go from there. Because it's a lot easier to scale a project when you're making money than it is to wait around and see if or whether you can make money from the project. I mean, it sucks having to wait and try to show results when you can show nearly instantaneous results by running ads. So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and I think you bring a great point here. Like, it has so many benefits. Like, it's not only about the data that you get, it's also about the activity that you get, right? So you'll notice shorter spams in terms of how quickly your website and your content gets indexed, just because you're sending traffic signals, right? And we are developing something really cool for you guys in the upcoming months in terms of traffic. I'm gonna leave it at that. So
No, I mean, we can tell this group a little bit more. We're actually calling it traffic on demand, where it's we're going to have a way to pull real people from the different social media and Web 2.0s. We have the recipe. We know what it takes. Now what we're doing is we're automating. Having the information is one thing. Now being able to code it and getting everything to work the way it does is where, you know, the devil is in the details. But that's underway, guys, and I'm really excited. It's still a couple of months away before we're beta, but you know, once we are, we always pull from our mastermind. We always pull from you guys to come and beta test. I have a couple of you guys, as a matter of fact, 2 or 3 of you who are in our mastermind who are beta testers with me on different things. And so this is the group that I draw from to come in and play and see what kind of results we can get from whatever it is that we're doing. So it's a really exciting time for semantic mastery, man.
I agree. I definitely agree. All right, guys. So we're gonna go through the questions that were pre-submitted. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the discuss thingy over here, the widget. Because if not, we're gonna wrap it up. All right. So Paul was asking, and unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be able to answer you, Paul, because this is a question for Bradley, and this is a question about how he set up campaign. But I'm gonna read it anyways. I'm gonna relay this question to Bradley, Paul, so that he can answer it probably in the community, all right, in the Google Plus community, or over the next mastermind. I think he's gonna answer it on the next like on the community as soon as he gets back. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I relay this to him. But anyways, the question goes, hey Bradley, I should be adding the exact my keywords from alpha SKAGs as negative in beta campaigns, but shouldn't we also be adding the BMM keywords as negative in the SKAGs campaign too? Also, should we be adding them on the ad group or campaign level for beta campaigns? Yeah, again, Paul, this is how Bradley set up campaigns. So I will relay this question for him when he gets back. You know, so he can answer that on the community. Also, Greg, hey Greg, he is giving us a link, which I was going a little bit into it just a minute ago, which is Google Cloud hosting for WordPress. Is this a game changer? And I think this will be a great platform for PBNs, right? No, but I think this is a really interesting. I haven't played with it, but I think this is a really interesting approach. having in mind, guys, that it says here, right? Run WordPress, the world's most popular blogging tool on Google Cloud platform. Like, this is a double-edged sword, in my opinion, and you need to tread carefully, because WordPress is by far, I wouldn't say the most popular blogging tool, but the most popular uh, website tool. I think like 50% of the websites right now are being built on WordPress, which is, you know, mental. But in any case, I think that you need to tread carefully. I haven't tested it yet. We can definitely give this a go, because you basically gonna be hosting your WordPress site on Google Cloud Platform. Now, on the upside, maybe you can give me your thoughts on this, Mark. But on the upside, I think that if you're hosting your own WordPress site, like for example, semanticmastery.com, you will get the benefits of all that Google Cloud Platform has to offer, which is, you know, security, which is speed, which is maybe you can drop off your CDN, maybe not, I don't know. But this is kind of something like WP Engine, right? Where you will, that's um, hosting specifically and optimized for WordPress. Now, with that said, you will be pretty much transparent to Google, okay? Because I strongly believe that they will be collecting data crazily with this move. All right. So have that in mind. If you have nothing to hide, which you shouldn't, again, Marco was saying you need to be as open, as public as possible. This is a great way of doing it. Now, when we're doing Cloudflare, we are also sharing a bunch of stuff with Google. When we're doing Google Analytics or Google Webmaster Tools, we are also sharing a bunch of stuff with Google. When we are visiting our websites with Chrome, with Google Chrome, we are giving away a lot of our data to Google, okay? When we are browsing our PBNs with our Android phone, we are giving away a ton of data to Google. So have that in mind. But this is, I think, a step further, right? So I think that this is a great move in terms of Google. I would definitely try to host a PBN and see how it goes. Or maybe, I don't know, a website that's only solidly for, I don't know, Surfshaker, or maybe something like a video embed website, even a video embed network over here, etc., etc. So, but yeah, that would be my intake on it. Like, what do you think, Marco?
Definitely for iframes. Definitely. I mean, not just YouTube videos, but maps. Anything that is Google's own, because Google is giving access to is hosting WordPress on its own platform. But what better way is there to send Google great signals than to iframe and embed their own properties, right? The My Map, the Google My Business map, or whatever else you want to iframe on there. I mean, to me, this is like a slam dunk. I wouldn't I wouldn't go on WordPress and platform if I were going to hammer it with link building, because I don't want Google to have all of that information.
Right.
I think they would be able to collect all of that data and like just throw it right back at you and cut you off at the pass. So I don't know what kind of effect it would have. I would say that it would be just totally negative without even knowing, without even trying it. Right? I'm just looking. I'm trying to figure out the different scenarios. I'll have to go into my thinking spot and think about this seriously and see how or whether we should manipulate it. But definitely, if all you're going to do is some embeds, video embeds, map embeds, and just semi-quality stuff that is going to bypass the bot, because right now they're not doing manuals unless you trigger enough flags for it to warrant a manual review right now. And so as long as it's a machine, it's then it's math, right? And so you just have to stay under the thresholds of whatever variable the script or the program is told to look for, the bot. is programmed to look for. If you stay under those thresholds, then you're not going to raise any flags. But not knowing what those variables are, it hinders us, because we don't know whether we're triggering or not unless we go far enough to trigger it and then pull back. So we need to get a whole lot of stuff hit by Google before we have enough data to say this is what you can or should do with it. But to me, iframing, again, Maya Maps, Google Properties, completely safe, because of the way, again, the bot is coded to look at these specific kinds of embeds or iframes or whatever you want to call them. It's told to look at them as do follow links and to just follow the trail. And I've shown you, and I've told you guys, Google goes out, at least that we know of, it goes out at least 4 tiers. And what it does is it tunnels through the iframe. It's incredible. But when it comes back, it doesn't matter. What it's pulling back, it doesn't matter, because it's coming back through Google property. So there's a rinsing process that takes place on the way back. So that with again, this is I'm speculating here, guys. I'm just trying to draw on what I see. To me, this is again perfect. As you said, a PBN. Make it quality if you're gonna do that, so that you can drop that link. But then again, you're going to have to send some type of signals through that link, or else it'll just be deprecated, right? There's no reason for Google to pay attention to it if nothing's happening there.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I agree. Like this is perfect if you're not trying to hide, right? Like if you're not trying to hide, if you're being open in terms of like, for example, iframes, in terms of, for example, traffic. If you're being open, like if you have a legit business, or if you're trying it to look legit as possible, this is perfect. Okay. So yeah, I would definitely give it a go. Maybe this can go into the testing phase and whatnot, and see what we can come up with. All right. So I think let's see what we got here. So, well, Greg, hey guys, ready to turn up the volume. Marco is the shit. Just ask him, he'll tell you. So the answer to Paul is yes. Once you add exact match keyword to beta campaign, you add that term as negative keyword to your alpha campaign. That's so you're not competing against yourself. Thank you, Clint. Thank you for your answer. So I just got a call. Wayne is saying, I just got a call today from a client that his site dropped off the first page. He kept checking his rankings. I repeatedly told him to stop. Now he's freaked out. What do you recommend I do to fix this? Okay, Wayne, good question. And yeah, I think that's a great question. I would start by fixing it by firing your client. But no, in all seriousness, I would just stop. Like, I would just stop doing it. Because again, I would say that he is partly guilty of the problem that he has. Wayne. So I think we answer a question yesterday from Ed, that he was saying, okay, so I think it was about a lawyer that had a Find Law website, and then Ed was doing another website, which is a great way of approaching this, right? If you cannot like touch, or you cannot modify, or even if you don't feel like modifying the other guy's website or the other website, you can just roll with your own, right? And the question was, okay, so Find Law's website is completely gone. My website is still there, but the guy's not getting calls, right? And the client wants to take my website down. Now, I don't think how it's intelligent thinking, because if you have 2 properties, right? If you had 2 properties ranked on the first page of Google, now you lost one and you want to take the other one down, like, that's retarded as fuck, right? You don't want to do that. Now, what we told Edward, yesterday, was that he needed to emulate what Find Law was doing, right? In terms of conversions, in terms of what they were doing and how they were doing it, because the main point was calls. The client wasn't getting as many calls. So you need to have that in mind. Now, on your case, which is a little bit different, Wayne, I would do two things. Number one, like honestly, let it go. Like let the website go for at least 21 days. I know that's why we keep saying Google's times are not business times, right? You cannot afford 21 days to lose, because on some cases, some, like many companies that I know, they are just 30 days away from being broke. Okay. It happens also to contractors. So they do not have 21 days to wait. Now, what you could do is three things. This is what I would do, Wayne. Number one is you can start your own website, whether it is a GMB, whether it is a RYS tag, to get results quickly on a property that you control. Number one, on a property that you control. And this is important because should the guy stop paying you because he freaked out completely, you can redirect, you can rebrand, you can sell the lead somewhere else. Okay, so I would start with that, GMB or Google Sites or RYS tag, so that you can get something up relatively quickly. That number one. Number two, I would definitely start a paid campaign, a paid advertising campaign. Like, if you you need to sell him in a way that, okay, so you want to keep getting leads, and this is like the cost of checking rankings when I'm telling you not to do so, right? You need to pay for a small PPC campaign. It can be AdWords, it can be Facebook, whatever. Okay. I would still, because the blood of any website is traffic, and if he's not getting traffic, the website will just die. And number three is stop checking it. Stop checking it out. Like, forget about the website. Put a note on your calendar that to check maybe in 15 days and then maybe again in 21 days. And that's it. And see if that comes back. In the meantime, you have some other stuff going, like the PPC campaign that can be, again, Facebook or AdWords or whatever, depends on the niche and the audience. And B, you're doing the GMB or the RYS stack, again, that you control, right? And this is paramount because you want to have control on that, and you want to stop the retarded customer that you have to fuck up whatever you're doing. What would you recommend for him, Marco?
I would ask Wayne for more clarification. Did all of his rankings drop? I mean, did it just go to shit for no reason? Is it local? I mean, what kind of hit is it? Because if without getting this extra information, like I can't really know if it's just total, if it's just his homepage that dropped, because you could go after inner pages. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see what he says. Not
So
all.
not all his rankings dropped, but local. Yeah, press release, man. Do some press release stacking and get that baby back. It'll take a little bit, but I think that would be the quickest way to try to recover. Oh, it's just the homepage. That's happening a lot, man.
Yeah, that's happening a lot lately, right?
Yep, homepage dancing, and to me, it's just Google's way of seeing who's naughty and who's nice. And your
Right.
client just happened to get caught with his hand in the till. Fucking retard clients.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start educating them. Don't fucking check the fucking rankings, you retarded fuck. We're gonna send you a report. That's what the goddamn report is. Excuse me, guys. I shouldn't have said. That's what the damn report is for. What
Right.
the fuck, man?
Yeah, when we had the same question, like it's just the homepage, like yesterday, it's just don't touch it, don't touch it, stop touching it. Like honestly, because it's more likely Google dancing. Uh,
He's a,
yeah, he's not. He's a dickhead.
he's a
Well,
ticket. Yeah.
probably.
He got caught with his hand in the till, and he didn't listen to you. Good way to charge more money, man.
Yeah,
Because of all the stuff that you're going to have to do to get that back,
yeah,
which it shouldn't be, because it starts dancing, you leave it alone. It drops, you leave it alone. Google's just checking, man.
Yeah.
They're checking to see what you're doing, and
Mm.
who's doing it, and why, and what's happening once that happens. I mean, it's the perfect mousetrap. Google built the perfect mousetrap when they did the Google Dance algorithm, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're waving the carrot to see if you bite, you know,
Yeah.
to see if
And
you
so
bite.
what can you do? Again, tell the retard, stop. Stop what you're doing. Now what you did is we can't touch this. We can't look. We can't do anything for 21 days.
Yeah.
After that, we'll see whether it comes back. But you have to. There's a little bit of education here. There's a way to look for the home page. If you just open an AdWords campaign, right, and you go into the ad predictor, that's a safe way to look for your home page. The wrong way is to go into Google search, right from your phone and your Android, and type in whatever it is that you're looking for, and send Google all that information that you're playing around and trying and checking rankings, because then it's clear that something's happening. So I think maybe some education, as Hernan said, but if it's a home page, then this is happening more and more. And I think it's just Google again, as Hernan said, dangling that carrot.
Yeah.
There's no certain fix. I mean, we've recommended some things that you can do, but for the homepage, I mean, it's just Google. It's just out. And I read somewhere that there's a lot of volatility in the ranks. I haven't seen it because I'm not a SERP checker. I don't do any of that. The end of the month tells me, right, whether the client made money or not, and it tells the client whether they've made money, and then they'll let me know. I'm not liking it, or yeah, that's fine. I'll pay you more. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what we can do unless one of our other members has a suggestion for a fix for this. But when it's something that's being volatile, something that's happening on and off, I don't know whether there is a quick fix.
Yeah. Yeah. He's searching in incognito mode, which
Yeah, but use
is
Chrome.
nothing using Chrome. Yeah, which is, I don't know. If you really want to go incognito, you can use. I think there is. Well, you can always use Thor. You know, you can always use that. The Onion. Um, and by all means, don't use Chrome. Use like Opera incognito. You can use Firefox incognito, like with a VPN. They also have this new. I think it's called this new browser, which is called Focus, which is 100%. According to them, it's 100% private. But yeah, I would go via the Tor network. So yeah, if it bounces, leave it alone until it stops. I think it's Google way to get you make changes and screw with you. Ghost browser, Ghost. Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, that works too. That works too.
And if the client actually wants to help himself, you got to teach them to go through a VPN at least. Go help you. This is how you help them, because then they'll probably abuse it and give themselves a thousand visits, right, from the VPN. So maybe not so good. Leave it the fuck alone, as Clint said, and as we recommend. If it's bouncing,
yeah,
you can't touch it. You can't touch it if it's bouncing.
yeah, yeah, Wayne. So that will. I mean, I will definitely start with something that you can control. You know, with again with the GMB, with an ROAS stack that you can control that will rank relatively fast. If your client is freaking out, it's because he's not diversified enough in terms of traffic. Because here's the deal, guys, and this is the way I see it. When you're running a company, when you're running a website, when you're running a real website, and by a real business, a real website, meaning something that gets traffic from all over the place. You get traffic from Facebook organic, you get traffic from Instagram, you get traffic from Google, you get traffic from Yahoo, from Bing, from your paid campaigns, you get traffic from email marketing, you get traffic from all over the place. So you don't really notice if you if you, I don't know, if you lost 2-3 positions on a keyword for Google, right? Because you still get traffic from all over the place. If you're so fixated, or if your client is so fixated on the rankings, and that's the only way he's getting ahead or he's getting business, now he's fucked up, because he is borrowing traffic from Google. His business is not his, it's Google's business, right? So you cannot rely on one source of traffic at all, you know? So yeah, when you should charge him extra for the fix, quote unquote, make sure the fix you can control it. Like, I would definitely do something that you can control. And and yeah, go and there's a little bit of education here, right? And that's why I really like consulting, because when somebody comes and approaches to me and says, hey, I need your SEO help, and I tell him, no, you don't need SEO help, you need business help, right? You don't need me to increase your rankings, you need me to help you make more money, you need somebody to help you selling more. And that includes a shit ton of things. That includes, of course, it does include SEO, but it includes paid ads, if the guys want to do it or not. That also includes conversion optimization. That also includes email marketing. And when you position yourself like that, you become a partner on the business. And by becoming a partner on the business, you deserve something more than just a consultant, right? You can ask for equity. You can ask for, I don't know, revenue share, whatever is your model. But that's what I would do. You know, I don't like. A lot of people come and tell me, hey, can you rank me for XYZ keyword? And I tell them, no, I cannot rank you for XYZ keyword, because it doesn't work like that. You don't want to rank for XYZ keyword. And if you're so fixated that you want to rank for it, then we're not a good fit. Now, if you tell me, hey, can you help me growing my business? Hey, can you help me making more money with this? Then sure, why not? Let's give it a shot. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's how I position, and that will allow you, Wayne, to charge 10 times more, and then grow your team, right? Because you want to have somebody that's doing SEO outreach, but you also want to have somebody that's doing paid advertising. You also want to have somebody that's knowledgeable in email marketing, etc., etc. So if your guy is so freaked out because he lost of all his rankings, then okay, you can charge extra for the fix. You can run some paid advertising. You can do, you know, what we share already. But yeah, I would definitely start like honing down. And this is something that we need to work to. That every one of us, myself in particular, need to hone down in what kind of clients we are getting, right? Because selling is a disqualifying process. You want to disqualify as many people as possible in order to find those people that will actually, you know, make your life easier in terms of client. You want to work with people that you would say, okay, so I would form a partnership with this guy. You know, I would definitely launch a business with this guy. And that's how, you know, I've been positioning it. And, you know, because in a worst case scenario, you can still launch your own stuff. You guys have superpowers. You can turn thin air into a project that makes money. That's a superpower. You know, it's like making money out of thin air. You can turn any idea into, you have the tools to turn any idea into a money generating business. Then, so my question is, why are you wasting your time with fucking retarded clients, right? I mean, go ahead, they pay for the party, but you have that superpower, you know? So anyways, that's the rant for the
I
day. And yeah, go ahead,
no,
Mark.
I think you made a great point, because if you want to get to the point where you're charging your clients 10K or above for whatever it is that you do, then you can't just take anyone who comes along. I know that you know, some of us, most of us, when we started out, we took whatever came along because it helped pay the bills. It helped scale whatever it was that you were doing. But what we didn't realize is that we were actually losing money. It was a money losing process because of the time that we had to spend with all of these people that were paying, you know, whatever, $500, $800, $1,000 a month, and who would just suck up all of our time and energy and call whenever they want. It was like you were their employee rather than someone who was providing a service. I'm sure that they wouldn't do it with a doctor, for example, right? Because a doctor has his hours and he has his fee, and he has his you have to pay for the consult. You have to pay for everything. With the doctor, you shouldn't be any different because you have your specialty. Your specialty is generating traffic. And so if you're that specialized, and if you can deliver time after time, then you should be able to set your own price, whether it's 10K, 15K, 20K, whatever it is that you want to charge a month, or whether it's what Hernan said, you want a partner, you want to go into this business so that you can both make money, or any combination thereof. What I'm doing lately is I'm asking for equity in the company and a percentage of gross. That's how I'm doing anything that I take on new. That's how I'm taking it on. So that's my suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah, and Wayne is also saying he's out there in Vegas right now, lining up the exact type of clients I like and want. It's been a beautiful week. This guy's getting fired within the month. I agree. I lose money with him. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense, Wayne. Makes sense. So have fun in Vegas. Not too much fun, but have some fun. Uh, and yeah, man, that's the way it is. But I think it's an awakening process, right? I think it's a learning process to see what kind of guys, what kind of clients you want to work with, right? What kind of projects you want to work with. If you guys haven't read Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, it's an amazing book. It's a big book, and it's like the guy has been interviewing so many people that it's crazy, and the guy he kind of compiled the ultimate cliff notes for all of the interviews, and it's a great book. And I think in one of the chapters, I don't remember now, but it says it's either a fuck yeah or a hell no, right? So it's either a fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna commit my time, I'm gonna commit my resources, I'm gonna go all in on this, or get the hell out, right? So if you're into a project, if you're into a client, if you're getting a client that is not hell yeah, just don't take it, right? And it can be whatever you think it's hell yeah. So I think that's that really struck a chord on me, because I used to say yes to a lot of things, and now I'm kind of more selective with what I'm doing. So it's either hell yeah or hell no, no way. Because again, you guys have superpowers. We all here have the ability to come up with an idea and turn it into a money generating business within the month. Okay, within the 30-day period, we can come up with something just like that. So I think that should be nourished and that should be grown, and you can pick the clients that you want that way. If you want to get clients, that's my point.
And I think this goes to mindset again, something that we talk about a lot. You have to know your worth. Your client cannot establish your worth. Your client cannot determine what it is that you're going to get paid. You have to go in there knowing your worth, knowing what you could do, and understanding. I think the way I see it is you have to be able to charge for 15K like you would a buck. It's the same. It has to be the same in your mind, because the client has to take it the same way. When you're trying to ream him, he has to take that $1 the same as he does that 15K. This is what it's going to cost. This is it, and that's it. That's all. And it's all about mindset. It's all about understanding your worth, understanding the value that you provide. And again, Hernan calls it understanding your superpower, to be able to generate money from this digital space, right? From this screen, whatever or screens. I use multiples, but from whatever it is, you can generate money. And how many people wish that they could do it? You see it all the time. People starting out, and they just want to have a client $500 a month, and you shouldn't be taking that kind of client when you're at this level. And so
Yep.
that's my recommendation is work on mindset, guys. work on understanding the value that you provide, the value that you can give the client. And it doesn't come with rankings. It comes with the bottom line. Can you positively affect your client's bottom line? And if you can, by how much?
Right.
Once you understand that, once you have that process down, once you have the math down on what the ROI that you can provide for whatever your niche is, then your value goes up in increments. It just continues to go up, and the client will be willing to pay you any kind of raise that you come to the table with, because they understand that if they pay you more money, they're going to make more money. I mean, it becomes really simple in their head. Okay, I pay him money, he makes me money. I pay him more money, he makes me more money. That's simple. Even retarded clients understand that.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, guys. So if we have no more questions, I think we can wrap it up. This was a really good session over here. I know that Clint answered your question already, Paul, but nonetheless, thank you, Clint. Nonetheless, I'm gonna send it to Bradley because he might want to add something to your question. And if we have no more questions, we're gonna wrap it up. What do you think, Marco?
Yeah, let's wait just a minute or two in case someone has a question for us, and if not, we'll just go ahead and shut it down. I hope everyone enjoyed it and got something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're also in the hunt. We have been on the hunt for a while now of a better kind of platform for the community. I know that Google Plus is kind of, it is what it is, right? It is what it is, and sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Facebook is developing a group for businesses or whatever that is for masterminds, because a lot of action is happening within Facebook, but I know that many of you guys are not within Facebook. That's completely fine. But if you guys have, like, we have thought about a forum, but it's kind of a pain in the ass as well. So if you have thought about, if you have anything that you can recommend in terms of the community that you would like to see, or if you're part of other communities, other masterminds, and you see what those guys are using, and we want you want us to give it a shot, just post it on the community. We're trying to worst case scenario, I think we will end up developing something, because nothing fully caters to what we want to do. But anyways, just a shout out there. Just a shout out there in case any of you guys are in other masterminds, in other groups, and you want to share with us what kind of platforms they're using. We're open to suggestions. Otherwise, we'll keep hunting and we'll keep you guys posted, so that we have a better way, more organic way of interacting with one another, which I think it's a great thing when it comes to the community. So Ken is saying, good stuff, guy. We don't need Bradley. Oh yeah, we do, Ken. We do need him. But yeah, thank you. Have you thought of using 22 Social with Facebook? I'm not familiar with it, Wayne, but I'll make a note so that we can go ahead and do it. The latest thing was either Slack or Discord for chat, and then having some sort of board to post stuff, like these kind of replays or these kind of things and whatnot, but then have some sort of chat, or maybe some sort of a more organic, immediate way of relating to each other, right? But 22 Social, I'm not familiar with it. We're gonna definitely give it a go and see what we can come up with, but just hang in tight. We're working towards getting something better for you guys, for all of us, actually. So Marco, what do you think if we wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm totally done.
Okay.
Again, well, there's one more comment. Well,
all right.
You're welcome, Paul. Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you. Hamday Hangout. We'll see you next time. Have in mind, the 4th of July. You guys already have access to most of the stuff that we share, but 4th of July, we're gonna offer some extra credits for Space. We're gonna have some discounts on some other stuff. So have that in mind. Have your eyes peeled. You already have a lot of discounts, but you can get some more stuff on 4th of July. And then I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.